All right, hello everybody. Oh, Daryl is covered up by the forum. Give me a second. There we go. Now you can see Daryl. Hello everybody, and welcome to the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard, both on the forum, and it's the name my mother gave me.
And I'm Daryl at Darzoo on the forum.
I'm Joey at JWonderl on the forum.
I'm Shannon at Shakao on the forum.
And I'm Vivian at Live Cheerful on the forum.
All right, guys, and we didn't really have a plan for today, so I think the idea is we're just going to be making another game idea generator game.
Mm-hmm.
We've went before this meeting that we spent a little time trying to add some new words and get rid of some of the old words that we've done before and stuff like that. So just like before, we're just going to generate a few, and then once we have one we like, we're going to stick with that and make a game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let me go ahead and make this full screen. All right, so round one. Make a deserted RPG set in ruins featuring camouflage. It's a pretty good one.
They like feel right.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah. All right. Someone keep track of that one. Okay.
Will do.
All right. Let's go again. So make a first. Someone has a lot of noise on their mic. Okay, I think that's better now. But if you're doing stuff like moving around, mute it, please. All right, make a first-person survival set in underwater featuring poetry. I think I am the person who contributed the featuring poetry, and I think that was a bad idea.
I'm super into poetry. I will make all the limericks for us if we do poetry.
So what?
Okay.
Yeah, like it could have like a little poem on what you have to do to survive this section of the game. So like
Sure.
a bop it sort of thing, but you have a little poem that you have to solve and then fix that.
Yeah, I think that first person and survival don't go very well together, though.
At least in our
okay.
like setup.
Yeah. All right, so we want to make a monochrome historical game set in a library featuring break things. So if there were any historical library riots,
what happened to Alexandria?
It was set on fire at the end of
That is true.
You're trying
Also,
to
I'm from
break
Alexandria, and my mom is a librarian.
Oh my goodness.
Also worth noting, historical monochrome work together because we all know everything before like the 60s was in black and white.
That's true. Okay. So there's that one. And let's do one more and then we'll pick. So make a Shakespearean adventure set in home featuring moon gravity.
Also pretty good.
All right. Does anyone have a? All right. Who? Let's do votes. I'm gonna vote last because I'm the person coding, and I say so. So.
Can we read them all out again, maybe?
All right.
Yes,
so we have.
I can read them out.
Okay.
Deserted RPG set in ruins featuring camouflage. First-person survival set in underwater featuring poetry. Monochrome historical set in a library featuring break things. Shakespearean adventure set in home featuring moon gravity.
I'm going to vote library.
All right, Daryl.
I'm going to vote Shakespearean home adventure.
All right, Joey.
I think I'm gonna go library too.
Shannon?
Also library.
All right, we're doing the library then, which is cool because that means I get to draw monochrome sprites, which I like doing.
Yeah. I think we could still, it's a library, so that's not at odds with either poetry or, not Shakespeare if we're doing Alexandria, I guess, but.
I'll make us an opening poem.
Yes.
All right, go for it. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the mechanics now that we've kind of got the idea for our game. So we have a library, and that's going to be our setting. I don't want us to be destroying the library because that seems like
Bad.
I don't.
Juju.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we could destroy the fires that are coming into the library.
Well, we don't have to break things. Other people could be trying to break things, and we're
That's true.
And we
could
go and
be
shush them.
Yes.
they're breaking the silence.
They're
Okay,
breaking the
I
rules.
like this.
that.
So you are a librarian. You're going through. People are breaking things, and your mechanic is you can press A to shush.
And then they'll
when
only
you
silently
shush,
break.
Yes.
everyone will change the sprite to look embarrassed, and then they will stop breaking things. Does that
Just
sound
walk
good?
out. Yeah.
All right, let's go with that then. Okay, so let's go ahead and first things first, we're going to create a tile map. And I'm not going to get very special with this right now because I think we're going to end up kind of customizing it later. So right now, I'm just going to make a black tile and a white tile. By the way, those are the two colors I'm choosing.
Mhm.
Very creative, I know. And let's just make like walls around the edges, I think. And we will put a desk right here, which is the librarian's desk.
Mhm.
And I'm going to make another tile real quick, which is going to be just like a hollow.
Okay.
Because I want to mark the location where you can walk out of the desk. So it's like one of those things that lifts up.
Oh yeah.
I'm also going to mark our start location. So let me go ahead and make another tile real quick. I'm going to make this like this, and we're the librarian, so I think they'll start in their chair. So I'm going to try and do a little desk chair here. We'll see how this goes. I'm doing the like top-down perspective. That's not coming across.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the back of the chair. This is the seat. This is the little thing that's connecting the seat in the back.
Okay.
And then needs to have wheels coming out, I think. All right, looks nothing like a chair, but this will be our start location.
It totally works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does kind of look like a chair, doesn't it? And maybe for the desk in front of them, I'll make a
Computer.
little. I was gonna do like this is a historical library. Daryl.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and do like a piece of paper or something to write on, maybe, and I'll just kind of make some fake text. Put that right there. Cool. And then what else should we do? Bookshelves? I guess that would be good.
Yeah, bookshelves, those reading tables that people sit at.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's do bookshelves first. So I'm going to do that. We want to have shelves, so I'll take the rectangle tool. Oh, whoops. And then we'll fill in some titles. So this is going to be a book that's, no, it should be leaning up against the other books. Here's one. Like a thicker one. We don't have multiple colors, so I'm just going to leave a blank here, and hopefully that reads as a different colored book.
Mhm.
There you go, like that. I don't think this is working very well, so I'm going to.
Well, we were seeing it from the top-down perspective,
Yeah.
right? So Do we have
Yeah.
books on the top of a? Yeah, we can pretend like there is.
Sheet something.
I'm gonna be a little inconsistent with my perspective, Joey.
Okay.
I'm sorry if that doesn't meet your high standards.
No, I trust you.
I don't
Especially after the controls from yesterday.
Okay, that looks better when zoomed out. There we go, and then I'll put some kind of rows in here.
Mhm.
And I'm doing the fake Zelda perspective, so I'm gonna put the top.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That looks really good.
All right, cool. So we've got that, and then we want tables, right? That'll be fun to do. So we'll make them kind of oval shaped. And I'm thinking we'll do like a quarter of a circle, and then we'll that'll be the corner, and we'll just put 4 of these together.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So let's do that, and I'll fill it in. So much easier to do monochrome sprites. Why don't we always do them? But also, that's just kind of what I'm used to doing. I prefer working with lower numbers than what we have in arcade. Lower numbers of colors, I mean. Okay, that might be one off. We'll see. Oh no.
Yeah. I think you did one.
Oh.
You did a 1 pixel edge on each side.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's cool because I messed it up anyway. Go. All right. And the last one, and I might put a book or something on one of these corners. Oh no, I did that wrong. Guys, it's hard to do pixel art with a trackpad. Okay, let's go ahead and put these. Oh, whoops. Like that. And I was going to do copy and paste, but it's not on the released site, so I can't.
Not in the time app editor either. Yet.
Oh, true. Okay, and let's line these up a little bit better. Oh, whoops. I can just use the fill tool here. Cool, and then I will put in some extra chairs. So let's put in a chair. At this one. All right, cool. Does this look good to start with?
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. Do we draw smalls? Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's what I'm doing right now. All right, so we're gonna mark out the walls. So this is where the player and the other sprites will not be able to go. So obviously I'll do the bookshelves. We're gonna do the desk except for the little flippy thing. And I will mark out the tables too. And the chairs will not be marked out, so you can go and sit in them if you want. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and make our sprite. And I'm going to change this to librarian. And what should our librarian be? Don't say a person. Just kidding, it can be a person. But I'm not as good at drawing people.
Maybe a mouse, because they're quiet as a mouse.
Yes.
I like it.
All right.
Oh, geez, you just went with it and made a beautiful little mouse head to start. So
Thank
you were
you, Joey.
prepared for this one.
All right, we want to do that. Give him a little tail.
Oh man.
And then give it some cute little legs. And I don't like this legs. Maybe I should just do flat on the bottom and then like, no, that's weird, right?
I feel like if it just had little feet instead of actual legs.
Just like one high.
Like that? Maybe I need to make him a little
Maybe-
wider.
What if he stuck out just a little bit?
Yeah, mice usually have little tiny legs. Just one's good. I like the hands.
So cute.
There we go. Like that?
Yeah.
Or tail up or down?
Maybe you can go. The tail can fly up a little bit when you're shushing. To me, like you're really mad at them while you're shushing.
Cute.
All right, so to make this a little easier to work with, let me go ahead and resize it now so that it's not too big. And this is 10:9. And I think that's right? Okay. So width is 10. Height is 9. All right. No, he's in the desk. And you know what? I want to spawn him on the chair to start with. So I'm just going to hard code it instead of doing the place on random tile because I have more than one chair. So what is the tile location? It's 3, 2. So let's go to scene. We'll drag out a place on tile. And we're going to set it at column 3, row 2. It's kind of hard to see when he's on top of the chair, so maybe I'll do right next to it. The eye doesn't look as well as good as I was hoping. Let me
You can just move it one to
Yeah,
the.
just bring that ear down.
Oh, like this?
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite as round anymore, though.
You can just move the eye one to the center, right?
No, I don't want it
that
to be
look wrong?
centered.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I could do. No.
I mean, what if you did make the ears 3 by 3?
Okay. Let's go ahead and make my sprite a little bigger again. So we'll go to, just give us some breathing room. This down. Does it still look like a mouse?
Or an elephant. But I think elephants and mice go well together, so it works either way.
That's weird.
Hmm. Can we see it small? That seems mouse-like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks better.
All right. Leave them like that for now. Okay, so we've got our librarian, we've got it in the starting position. Let's go ahead and bring out our controller block, and we're going to move the librarian with buttons, and I'll just leave it at the default speed for now, which is like 100. So come walk around, And just like always, we forgot to do the camera follow. So let's go and get that block. Oh, whoops. Cool. Now we can walk around the library. Cool. So obviously, because our librarian is a mouse, they should be shushing cats. Is that right?
That's a dangerous game.
Sounds right to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Our librarian is brave.
Uh-huh.
Okay. They don't take anything from anyone, even if it's a cat.
It's just a new version of the most dangerous game.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and make a function for making cats. I'm going to call this make cat. And this is more for code organization than anything else, but it's nice to have labeled functions because then it makes it clear when the people are reading your code what this kind of chunk of code is doing.
Mhm.
So we'll go ahead and create another sprite, make a new variable, name this one cat, change the kind to enemy. And let's go ahead and start over with the sprite. Cool. Cats are easy to draw. So we'll do like that. And they have pointy ears.
Are these cats going to be the same size as the mouse?
Yeah, they all have to
Perfect.
fit in the
Okay.
library.
Probably.
So,
Yeah.
like, for our benefit, is it a large mouse or a very tiny cat? Because I know I have a preference between those two, but I'm not going to say which one.
Is your preference very tiny cat? I think they all have to be the same size because they're reading the same sized books.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
But the cats aren't here for reading, they're here for playing.
Yeah.
No, that's no good.
That's a heart cat.
Okay, that's our cat for now.
Looks like a ruffian.
All right. So I think the cat is going to be like, let's say that when they are, they're going to spawn and they're going to go to a location that has a bookshelf, and then there'll be like banging noises, and then the bookshelf will disappear after a while.
Mhm.
Ooh, yeah.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and place our cat at a random location, but we want our cat to be on top of, well, near a bookshelf. So the way that we're going to ensure that is we're going to place it on top of a random bookshelf location, and then we'll move it down one tile, because that will always be a vacant tile that is next to a bookshelf. So
Okay. Yeah.
let's go ahead and place the cat on top of a random bookshelf. And then we want to move it down one. So all of our tiles are 16 pixels wide. So if we go ahead and change the cat Y by 16, we should be centered on the tile below the bookshelf. And just to test this stuff out, let's bring out a game update. And let's make some cats.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
They are quickly overwhelming our
If
mouse
we already
size.
have a cat, maybe we could rerun the positioning so that it finds its own place. We can
Yeah,
figure that
I'm
out
not
later.
thinking that we're going to have that many cats, but I like what you're thinking of. Okay.
I feel like if you could do something hacky, which is just on overlap of cat with cat, you could destroy it and call make cat again.
Yeah, that would work.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. So we'll drag out an overlap block, and these are both going to be of type enemy. So if we change both of the dropdowns to be enemy, and then we just need to destroy one of those. It doesn't matter which because they're both at the same location. So we'll just go ahead and call sprites destroy on sprites. And we will immediately call MakeCat again.
Oh.
This will work for now, but if we need to destroy cats in the future, we will change their kind before we destroy them. So there you go, Joey.
Oh, no, if we run out of spaces, this will be problematic, but that's fine. Ish.
Oh, yes, indeed. I have just hung the simulator.
In MakeCat, we should put a restriction on, like, if there is more than 10 cats, we won't spawn a new one or something, maybe, but we can figure that out.
Just destroy it for now. Like, it's fine. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll just destroy it for now. Okay. So we have our cat spawning. And I think what we need next is I want to make a tile that is the broken bookshelf. And this will be kind of the error state. So let's go ahead and make another tile.
Duplicate your bookshelf tile.
I could do that, but I was just planning on making it not really look like, you know what, let's do that. And it seems hard to, I'm not really sure how I'm going to make this.
Maybe get rid of all of the books and then put a few on their sides or something.
Yeah, or this shelf can be like diagonal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So let's go ahead and just kind of get rid of these books for now. And we'll get rid of the other books too.
I guess you're right. We did not need to copy this tile.
But it's nice to know that the copy exists.
True. All right, and now I will draw this. Oh, whoops. Thought I had the line tool. Okay. Like that. And then I'll have kind of a thick book kind of lying down here. And I'm going to get rid of this other line. And then for the other books, we'll just kind of have like, I don't know, one kind, oh, whoops. All right, this is kind of a mess, but hopefully it'll read as no longer a bookshelf.
Mm-hmm. Our broken tile looking a little bit like a mess is probably a good thing.
There we go. I don't know. It's fine for now.
When it's small,
all right.
It's fine.
So the way that I'm going to do this timer business is I'm going to have the cat have a lifespan, and when that lifespan is over, we want to spawn a. We want to destroy the tile that is above it, and then that cat will be destroyed because its lifespan ran out.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And if someone wants to explain what lifespan is and what units it's in, I would appreciate that.
Sure, yeah. So lifespan is a property on a sprite that says how long the sprite will live, right? So after its lifespan runs out, it will be destroyed, which is good. The unit is in milliseconds, like a lot of our other units. So 3000 means after 3 seconds, it will be destroyed.
Exactly. Okay, so we've got our cat, we've got it being destroyed, and right now I want to go ahead and bring out a destroy handler, and this is going to get to the first kind of issue with this piece of code, which is we're also destroying cats here, and we don't want to destroy the bookshelf when we have two cats that are overlapping each other. So there's an easy fix for this, and that is to make sure that this code does not run this onDestroyed sprite of kind enemy by changing the kind of the cat. And I'm going to do that real quick, and I'm just going to make up a kind just for this kind of case, and we're just going to call it a bumped cat. It needs to go above. You know what, we're going to change it to food. Doesn't matter.
little ominous.
Fine. We'll change it to projectile. Okay. So now our cat is a projectile before it gets destroyed, so this code will not run in this case, which is all good for us. So now we want to handle this on destroyed logic, and what we're going to do is we will get the location of the sprite. And there is an extension that makes this much easier, the tile maps extension, but I'm not going to use that today. I'm just going to kind of do this by doing some math, which should be easy enough. All right. So we need to figure out the location of our cat. And because we know that tiles are 16 pixels wide, that means we can take the cat's X and the cat Y and just divide it by 16, and that'll give us the column and row that they are in our tile map. And I'm not going to use regular division because that'll give us a decimal point, which I don't want. I want to have an integer kind of coming out. I don't really care if they're at 3.5 tiles. I just want to know if they're at tile 3. So if I drag out the square root block, one of the kind of hidden functions in here is integer divide. And this will make sure that the result is always an integer, which is really useful. So let me go ahead and create a variable, which is going to be cat row. And I'm going to make another one called cat column. And let's go ahead and do that math real quick. All right, so column refers to the X and row refers to the Y, because columns go from left to right and then rows go from the top down. So I'm going to do the sprite. Oh, I need a access block, this one. So we're going to do the sprite X integer divide by 16. And then we put it in here, or else the block will bump out. And put sprite in there. And now this has our column. And if I duplicate this code, change this to Y, then this one now has our row. So the cat is always spawning below the bookshelf. So we actually want to use the tile that is one above it. So above, if you remember, our Y goes down. So it's going to be a lower row is higher up. So if we subtract one from the row, but we keep the same column, we should be pointing at the tile that is right above where our cat is. So we're going to go into scene and drag out the set block, this one right here. We're going to set it to our broken shelf tile. By the way, if you want something to show up in this block, you need to go into the tile map editor and make the tile in there, because only the tiles that show up in your My Tiles category or that are used by the gallery will be in this dropdown right here. So that's why I went into the tile map editor to make this broken tile, even though I didn't actually put it in my map. Okay, so we can already see it's setting it at 0, 0 right now because I haven't changed my code. But let's go ahead and put cat column here in the first argument. And then for the second argument, we're going to do cat row -1. All right, now let's walk around and see if this code's working. Oh, yep. So there we go. Our cats are wrecking stuff.
Oh man,
This is so good.
this game looks amazing.
This is a disaster.
Yeah.
Thank you. My only regret is that we're not going to have enough time for me to do a cute little bouncing mouse run animation with the ears going up and down, which I very much like to do, but we don't have the time for it. All right, cool. Here's kind of a weird property. Why does it stop when the last cat? Oh, I know what's happening. So the reason it's stopping when the last cat is there is because of this code.
Keeps on
each
spawning
cat,
at the same spot.
Yeah, so they just keep replacing each other and knocking out the one that was created beforehand. So we're getting to this point where there are no bookshelves left.
Oh, that's a good point. We could do something nice here and make it so we compare the lifespans of the enemies and destroy the one that is newer, right? The one that has longer lifespan.
I bet you if you destroy other sprite, it'll work.
Yeah,
You
I'm
are
pretty
right.
sure Daryl's correct. So I'm just going to do that real quick. So we'll change this to destroy others, right? And then the other thing we're going to do is we need to tell when there are no more bookshelves. So I'm going to do this inside of this make cat code. And the way I'm going to figure that out is inside of this scene category, there is a array of all blank locations. So if I take this,
destroyed a kind enemy.
Sorry, what's up?
Oh, don't you want this like after they've destroyed the last bookshelf?
Oh, yeah, either place works. But no, I think yeah, I guess you're right. But we need it in two places because we also want to know if we should spawn another cat.
Ah, I see, right.
Okay. So we want to bring out a comparison block, bring out an if block. We want to change this to array of all broken locations. I'm going to go into arrays and get the length block, which is somewhere.
Third down.
It's the third one.
Oh, yep.
Don't you want non-broken?
Yes. Okay. So right here, we're going to do if length of array is equal to 0, then we want to do game over. So let me go into the game. We'll drag out the, oh, sorry, that's not game. Drag out game over with lose set. Okay, and I could wait to make sure that this works, but I know it works, so we're just going to keep on going. So I want to do the opposite for this case. And I want to say that if the length of bookshelf locations is greater than 0, then we want to spawn another cat. And I think that should do it pretty much. And like I said, I'm not going to wait for this code. All right, so let's get to the shushing. So I'm thinking you'll just press A to shush, and then maybe you kind of pause for a second so that you can't just run around and just spam A, you know? Like maybe you stand still and then a little shush appears and then the shush disappears and then you can start walking again. Mm-hmm. And I think we also want to change the cat to look really embarrassed and then just kind of walk away. Mm-hmm. Or not walk away, but just disappear probably. Does that sound like a plan?
Its ears could go flat. I think that's maybe how it looks, embarrassed or agitated.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Okay. So let's do the shushing first. And the trick here is going to be figuring out which cats are inside our shush radius. Mm-hmm. But we'll do that in a second. Okay. So I'm going to make a button be our shush button. So you know what? Let me clear this search box. It's annoying me. So let's drag out an on A button pressed. And I'm going to make a variable here that's going to be called shushing. And we're going to first check to make sure we're not already shushing. Because we want to make sure that you can only do one at a time. So we'll say if not shushing, we're going to set shushing to be true. And then what we're going to do is change our mouse's sprite kind, or I think we'll probably need to do the timer trick, right?
I think there's a pretty good way to do this if we want to just make the shush. And we can just place a sprite on top of the mouse and then make that sprite invisible and make it like a big circle around for how much you want to shush.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're talking about collisions.
Oh, was that? Oh, I missed it. Okay, never mind. But yes, that's what I was talking about. I misunderstood.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm talking about, so for the shushing, we want to do the, we need to pause and lock the controls for a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out this move block. We're going to duplicate it over here. And I'm going to expand this and set them both to 0. And I can test this out real quick. If I press A, I can't walk anymore. So that's working. Great. So now let's go ahead and drag out our trusty sprite save block, which luckily is monochrome, so we're not breaking the rules. We're going to say 3 exclamation points.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Can a sh and lowercase though? I feel like that is too loud of a sh.
Like that? Too many H's? Too few H's?
I think it'll depend on how long we want it to be shushing.
Okay.
I think it's great.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we want to unlock the controls again when we are when a certain amount of time has passed. And the easiest way to do that is to just have a set the lifespan on the sprite and then recreate it when the sprite gets destroyed. So this is just a handy way to kind of do something that's asynchronous but specific to a sprite. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Just like before, we're going to set the lifespan. So let me go ahead and duplicate that code. All right, what, Joey?
We could just use the onDestroyed of the collision sprite if we want, but whatever works best.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So Joey is suggesting that we do collisions using a fake sprite. And you know what? I'm not opposed to that. So we're going to go ahead and create a new sprite kind that is
Shushing bubble?
Nope, just shush.
Okay.
It is the cloud of our shush. It's not going to be just the shush location. And what's a good radius for this? Like maybe 9 tiles, so like 3 by 3. Does that sound good to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
So
All
one
right,
tile
so 3.
around you in each direction?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so that's going to be 3 times 16, which is 48. Oh, and let me show off something neat right now. If you're changing values, but you want to keep the same aspect ratio, you can click this little clock. I mean, this little lock, not clock. And if I change this to 48 now, see my width change to be the same because they started as being the same. Just a nifty little thing to save the aspect ratio if you're working on something. It doesn't matter as much if it's square. All right, so no one's actually going to see this sprite. We're going to make it invisible, but it needs to have some content. Otherwise, it won't generate any overlap events. So in order to make this overlap happen, I'm going to go ahead and just fill it with white. And if we do this right, like I said, this isn't going to ever show up.
An extra age, yeah.
So when we start shushing, we're going to set the shush to this, and then we need to immediately, we want to set it to be invisible. So we're going to go ahead and go to shush. And we're going to set invisible to be on. We're also going to set another one, which is going to be ghost. And the reason we're setting ghost to be on is because we're going to place the shush's location. Then we don't want the it to be bumped out by the walls. Then if we turn ghost off again, it'll generate overlap events. So a lot of times with tile maps, it's kind of difficult to place a sprite where it is if there's a wall in the way, because we detect small changes in X or Y and try to make it so that the physics still work. So if you're doing like X + 1 to move your sprite, it'll still generate those kind of wall collisions. So one way to get around that is if you set ghost to be true, do the move, and then set ghost to be false again, you'll bypass that check. So I'm going to go ahead and drag out another one, which is ghost on, and I'm going to set it to off, just so I remember to do that. And let's go ahead and set the position of our sprite. So we've got our shush right here. We're going to set the position to be librarian X and librarian Y. Okay, and now let's try this out. Cool. That's exactly what should have happened. All right, so we've got our shush around us, but you can't see it because we made it invisible. Just great. One thing though is right now we just shush forever and it never goes away, and we can't stop until the game ends because the cats destroy the library around us. So instead, we're going to set the lifespan of the shush, and we'll use that to lift the shush. So let's go ahead and drag out this set property block. We'll change it to lifespan. Has anyone been looking at the chat, by the way?
Yep, Jacqueline's there. She says hi. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, Jacqueline. All right, I'm going to set it for 2 seconds for now. We can kind of tweak it in a bit. I think 2 seconds is more than, actually, you know what, I'm going to make it 1 second because that seems like, you know what, actually, I'm going to make a variable. Okay, yeah. Shush time. And we're going to, right now, set shush time to be 1 second. And the reason I'm doing this as a variable is because I want to use it in multiple places. I want to use it here for the lifespan, but I also want to use it for my say up here. I need to pass it a duration so that the say doesn't stay forever. And so I'll just pass that same variable, the shush time.
You said the kind.
Oh, whoops. All right. Fun fact, kinds are just numbers, so you can put numbers in there. You shouldn't do that, though. You should use sprite kinds. Okay. So we've got our lifespan, so we need another destroy event. So let's go ahead and make another one of those real quick. And I think we're going to be like, we're like perfect on time because we're almost done with this game.
Yeah.
Okay. So on destroyed sprite of kind shush, we want to set shushing to be false. Oh, whoops. And we want to move the librarian again. So I'm going to go ahead and drag out this one, which doesn't have the arguments expanded. And I will put this one right here. So now let's test this out real quick. Shush. Shush goes away and I can move again. Cool. And then the last kind of remaining thing is to do the overlap event between the shush and the enemy. So let me go ahead and get rid of this. We'll leave this as, actually, we'll make this one the shush because I already have the destroy code in here. So we're going to set other sprite to kind projectile. That's fine. Again, it just needs to be a kind that isn't cat, because otherwise when we destroy it, it's going to end up being a break event, because that's what we use that for. Not here, but somewhere right here. So to make that a little simpler, what I'm going to do is instead of doing this destroy right here, I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to set the lifespan on the cat to be like 1 second of looking embarrassed. Let's check out the other sprite because that is the one of kind enemy. I'll set the lifespan to be 1 second. And we also want to set the sprite image. So let's drag this one out. Do other sprite. And we are going to draw a new cat image. So let me duplicate the old one. There it is. Okay, so we're going to make the ears flatten out. And I think we're also just going to kind of move the head
down a little bit, maybe? Yeah.
Just kind of like that.
When they flatten out, do they go to the side, maybe? I think that's how I visualize cats.
Can we give it a little frowny face?
I mean, it doesn't normally have a
space.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have enough space.
Yeah.
I like the idea, but all right. Well, let's see how this goes. I think it works.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Oh, nice.
Okay, so we've got that. We've got the lose condition, so when all of the shelves are destroyed. And because this is a historical game, where we're doing the reimagining of the Library of Alexandria, which was destroyed. I think that the way we're going to do that is there's no real way to kind of win the game. I think it's just going to be inevitable that it's eventually going to destroy all of the shelves, and you just want to kind of keep going as long as you can. So I'm going to I'm going to use the score for this game is going to be the just the amount of time that you kind of stay in, that you keep everything going. So I don't need to keep track of that because we have inside of game, we have this running time milliseconds. I do want to display it for the user though, so that they kind of have an idea that that's what they're being kind of tracked on. However, well, the easy way to do this would be to just go into info and drag out this set score block, and then inside of on game update, I would just set the score to be time since start. There's one bug with this code though, which is that it's pink, which breaks the rule of monochrome. So instead, what we're going to do,
you could use the new. Okay, I was going to say you could use the new text sprite extension, but go for it.
Yeah, we only have 8 minutes left, but otherwise I would take you up on that. So what instead I'm going to do is just use a sprite say to keep track of the score. So I'm going to create an invisible sprite. And just going to give this the kind of projectile because it doesn't matter what the kind is. This is bad practice. You should give kinds that make sense, but I'm going fast now. I'm going to call it score sprite. Were you going to say something, Joy?
Oh, unrelated. I was just going to say you can keep a couple bookshelves safe. So right now you can continue to win indefinitely, but
yeah, no, you
that's
can.
Fine.
It's until you die of fatigue, and the library will fall.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so we've got our score sprite, which is up here, and I want to make it say the current amount of time. And there's one other thing we're going to have to do real quick to make it so that it sticks to the screen because of a bug that is in the current released version of Arcade, which is that the relative to camera flag does not work with sprite bubbles. This is a bug. It's something that's fixed in beta. But in the meantime, I'm going to get around it by setting the position using the camera left and camera top blocks that are inside of the scene category. So first thing though is I need to get the text and put the convert. Oh, whoops, I don't need a text. I need a join. Okay, so now we have this little guy counting up. And to make it so it's not moving quite so fast, I'll probably just drag out an integer divide block real quick just to make it a little smaller. So let's go into the integer divide, which would be in square root. Change that to integer divide. And we'll just display the seconds for now. Or you know what, I'll do 2 places, so that'll be 100. Cool. All right, so that's counting up. And we need to make it follow the camera. So I'm going to grab the, in the scene category, we're going to set the top to be relative to the camera top and the left to be relative to the camera left. So I'll drag out the set position block, change this to score sprite. And if I just set it to camera top, camera left, will that just work?
I think it'll be slightly off. We also need to make it a ghost.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Oh, wait, maybe it won't be slightly off. So we probably need to set the left and top properties.
I'll just do some math. We're running out of time, so I'm just going to put in some values until it kind of works, and then we'll call it a day. Meanwhile, you guys come up with a game while I finish up this title, while I finish up this code. Cat and everyone say something at once.
Cat and mouse game?
Well, I think it should reference the Library of Alexandria, personally.
Mm. Wait, can this be the poem?
Oh, I have a limerick. Should I say it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There once was a librarian player whose complexion couldn't be grayer, but the noisy cats came, and here's the game. Press A to shush disobeyers.
Can that all be the title? I don't remember the length of the max length of a game.
That's great. I'm not going to type that in during the stream. I'll do that afterwards.
Okay.
Which part of that is the title?
All of it.
Oh, I was just going to put it as a little thing to show up at the beginning of the
yeah, I think we
game.
should either reference like a line of it in the title, or we still need a separate title.
Do you want like the fall of Alexandria?
It kind of jitters around a little bit.
Why is that? Okay, weird.
Maybe if you just moved it closer to the corner. It's.
Oh wait, that's because of the wall. So
I set ghost.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yes.
Maybe.
It does look like it's the wall, though. Oh, is the sprite.say also?
I think I know the bug for this one. It's because the camera position update happens after the on-game update, and I have a fix for that in common packages as a PR. This is game loop stuff.
Okay. All right. So, did we come up with a name? And our mouse is named Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Is that all right?
I like it.
All right, cool. Well, we finished our game. We've got a mouse. We can shush cats. And we have a library that is slowly getting destroyed. And I'm definitely going to send this game to my mom later.
I want to song on the homepage. This is beautiful.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the MakeCode Arcade Advanced stream. I'm Richard, both on the forum and, people call me that.
And I'm Daryl at Darzoo on the forum.
I'm Joey at J1Girl on the forum.
Shannon at Shakao on the forum.
And I'm Vivian at Live Cheerful on the forum.
And make sure you guys stay tuned after this because I think Jacqueline's going to be doing a stream. And thanks so much.